In the 1950s, the United States conceived the idea of developing the first generation of space planes. The U.S. Air Force proposed a very ambitious project, hoping to develop a military mission space plane using the continuously evolving aerospace technology. This plane could be used to carry out bombing, reconnaissance, space rescue, satellite repair, and many other tasks. This plane was the Boeing X-20. The project began implementation in October 1957. The design of the X-20 drew inspiration from the concept of the intercontinental bomber from World War II Germany. It introduced a new aerodynamic layout design in the structural design, and its shape bore some resemblance to later space planes. The X-20 had a shape similar to a lifting body, weighed about 4.7 tons, and had triangular wings with upturned wingtips. The body was constructed of an alloy, and different materials such as graphite and molybdenum were used in various positions. Additionally, an additional opaque heat shield layer was placed outside the cockpit window to help the plane withstand high temperatures when re-entering the atmosphere. The heat shield would be jettisoned and the plane's speed decreased, and it could be controlled, thus providing the necessary visibility. The plane had two basic concepts. One was a single-seat configuration, with the space behind the pilot used to carry reconnaissance equipment, weapons, etc., for reconnaissance and bombing missions. The spaceplane version replaced this area with a crew compartment, capable of carrying a total of 4 astronauts. Both configurations required rocket propulsion to reach suborbital or higher orbits. Once separated, the plane would fly at high speed like a ballistic missile and theoretically could reach any point in the Earth's atmosphere. The maximum flight altitude was 160,000 meters, and the plane could rely on rockets for orbital maneuvering. Upon return, it would re-enter the atmosphere and rely on long-range gliding to return to the ground. Because rubber tires could not withstand high temperatures, the plane would use landing gear made from a special alloy. The concept of the X-20 was quite advanced for its time, considering various space missions in an era when there were no space stations yet, and even including the concept of capturing and destroying enemy satellites with anti-satellite weapons. According to the project plan, the entire project would cost $660 million, and a prototype conducted gliding tests in 1963, leading to the development of a model with practical combat value in the 1970s. The project initially progressed smoothly, with a model being built and a production line being planned. In 1960, 7 specially trained astronauts were selected, later reduced to 6. The Titan III would be used as the carrier rocket for the X-20, and the launch was planned to take place at a base in Florida. The X-20 project was abandoned at the end of 1963 for many reasons, such as insufficient funding, substandard carrier rocket technology, and most importantly, a positioning issue. The project, led by the Air Force, had ambitions that were deemed unrealistic by the then Secretary of Defense, who pointed out the Air Force's excessive pursuit of a re-entry atmospheric flight vehicle. Meanwhile, the United States was focusing on more feasible human spaceflight. However, the X-20 project was not in vain, as some of its technological experiments were later applied to real space planes.